Okay, so I must apologize. I've been kind of slacking. I know I didn't really come out with a vlog post last week. It's been a crazy, few weeks. After Thanksgiving at work, we had a big, huge deadline. So that involved working a lot of hours and some late nights. And then this week, I think I've talked about how my wife and I are expecting our first child in April, and we found out yesterday that we're having a girl. So we cannot be more excited about that. That's exactly what we wanted. We really wanted a girl, and we're getting one. So I'm really happy about that. So haven't had a lot of time to vlog up until now. I definitely do want to build off of Mike's post about football because, just like Mike, I love me some football. Um, you guys know I'm a diehard Michigan Wolverines fan. Mike talked about how, from being from Columbus, he always liked Ohio State. You know, back when he thought their head coach Jim Tressel or their ex-head coach when they thought he was a decent guy. I must admit, I always had a lot of respect for Tressel. I would always tell people, I hate Ohio State with a passion. If anybody that's been to Ohio knows how obnoxious that fan base is, but in spite of that, I've always had a lot of respect for Tressel up until all the scandal went down and it turned out that he's actually running a pretty dirty program. Um, with the cheating and all, the lying and all that going on. But yes, needless to say, I am quite excited that my Michigan Wolverines finally notched a victory against the Buckeyes. Growing up in the '90s, we used to beat Ohio State every year, and we took it for granted. We beat them every year. But then, of course, they start cheating a little bit, and they start beating us because they're starting to cheat. They gain that unfair competitive advantage. But finally, we've got this coach named Brady Hoke. He's starting to restore the natural balance of power with Michigan at top. I kid, but only slightly. I like how Mike talks about how he's a Buffalo Bills fan, but he also liked the Lions because of how much they sucked. Well, I am a native Lions fan. My whole family's from Detroit. I was born in Detroit, even though I spent most of my life in Ohio. I always loved the Lions. Growing up, I always watched Michigan on Saturdays, the Lions on Sundays, and Michigan. I mean, it's easy to root for Michigan. I mean, winningest program in all of college football. Um, the Lions. It's always been hard because growing up, they were a pretty mediocre team, even when they had the best running back ever to play the game in Barry Sanders. But they sucked so bad that he retires in his prime because he's not going to put up with this crap. So then after that, the NHL's worst, their least winningest franchise in the aughts, the 2000s. So it's always been kind of hard to be a Lions fan. Kind of starting to get excited about them this year, except they've kind of been losing the last couple of weeks. But I love football. I mean, even though I'm excited I'm having a girl right now, I hope the next one's a son. I definitely need to have a son somewhere down the road because football is a big deal to me. Something that needs to be passed on. I think that football is something that's very quintessentially American. I know that baseball used to be the American pastime. If you ask me though, and a number of other people, I think it's quite obvious for the few decades, football has definitely taken that mantle um, of being America's pastime. And I mean, I can't really think of anything more American than football itself. It's an American-made and developed game. It's our game. We've perfected it. And personally, I like college way better than pro. I mean, I do like pro, but I love college. I mean, just because it's more exciting. You have more varying styles of play, and there's more passion and pageantry and spirit attached to the college game. I mean, for example, you like a team like Michigan has so many great traditions. Um, you know, the fight song, the helmet. Even Ohio State, I'll grant they have some pretty good traditions, or even dare I say Notre Dame. But pros. I mean, I respect the pro game, but not as passionate in my eyes as the college game, which I think reigns supreme. There's nothing more American than that.